Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. This is going to be my Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode 14 video. Lots of Captain America Civil War stuff brewing in the background, so I'll try to explain how they're integrating that into the story, along with the Inhuman stuff. It's funny how the TV shows are laying the groundwork for movies that are years away. Captain America Civil War is coming out next year, so it's not that far away. But it makes sense that they use the TV audience to create awareness for big stuff that's going to be happening later on. So just careful for spoilers from the episode if you haven't seen it yet, starting with top 5 moments. Number 5, Pulp Fiction intro. If you didn't recognize it, they used the exact same diner that they used on the show last week. The tone of that opening scene between Ward and Agent 33 is almost exactly the same as the opening scene from Pulp Fiction, where they start with the diner heist. Funny because Tim Roth, who was in that opening scene, played Abomination in The Incredible Hulk, and Agent 33 kind of thinks of herself as an abomination. Very meta Marvelverse type stuff. I totally love it when it gets referential like this. And I'm totally digging the creepy sexual stuff that's going on between Agent 33 and Ward. Very clearly that's going to turn into some kind of ship. Whether or not it lasts, I don't know. I think it depends on how stable Agent 33 stays. Clearly, she's still recovering from what happened to her. She's imprinted on Ward, but I think he's manipulating her just like people manipulated Ward. Ever since he showed his true colors, whenever he's really earnest like this, when he just seems too nice, it's way too good to be true. He's definitely lying through his teeth. I do think that he's going to keep his promise to Skye. He's going to reunite her with her father and her family, this other Inhumans group. But the real question is what else is he trying to do? That can't be his only goal. I know a lot of people are wondering if he's turning into like Taskmaster from the comics. I don't think that's the case. I think he's going to be his own thing. He's an original creation of the show. He's just a villainous character that operates outside of the boundaries of major organizations. So he's not like completely Hydra, not completely S.H.I.E.L.D., not even really much of an anti-hero. I still think of him as a villain. Like a free agent, equal opportunity villain. Seriously though, we have to talk about that Skye lingerie scene. That was so creepy and so much fun. I am so happy when Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. can make my skin crawl like that. I feel like a lot of the fun on the show, a lot of the humor is going to be born out of this crazy Ward storyline. And when I say humor, I mean really dark humor, which is one of the best kinds. On to number 4, the real S.H.I.E.L.D. explained. Edward James Olmos's character, Gonzalez, isn't straight out of the comics, but he is totally setting up Civil War. Like all this secret S.H.I.E.L.D. versus real S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff is setting up what's going to be going on in Civil War. Who is accountable to who? Transparency versus operating in the shadows. That's like the big difference of opinion. In the comics, Civil War is very, very different. It's all about superhero registration. Captain America doesn't think the superheroes need to show their faces. Iron Man says they need to. It's way more complicated than that. That's like an oversimplification. But the impetus for Captain America and Iron Man drawing a line in the sand is going to be different in the movies than it is in the comics. They kind of explained this a little bit when they did the Marvel Phase 3 announcement where they introduced Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther. I might do some more Civil War comic book videos in the future, but because the TV show and the movies are going to do something different, I'm mostly going to focus on that stuff. Edward James Olmos is going to be a lot of fun though this season. I love seeing Adama again, especially in a really like contestuous position of authority like this. A secret organization inside of a secret organization. Just to explain what Mac and Bobby have been doing for real S.H.I.E.L.D. while they're inside of Coulson's S.H.I.E.L.D. They're looking for the toolbox, and they're going to be trying to find out where Skye is. I also thought it was funny that all those people, including Hunter, still think that Nick Fury is dead. I don't think they were lying. I've said it a couple times before, but I think at a certain point in the movies, we will see Secret Avengers. I think it won't be till we get to Civil War, but eventually we'll get there. There'll be 2 different teams of Avengers. Although technically the Avengers will break up and it'll be 2 teams of superheroes. I don't know if either one is going to call themselves the Avengers. On to number 3, Skye goes to Inhumans summer camp. Totally love the way Fitz and Simmons were arguing about which Avenger Skye was most like, Captain America or the Hulk. Technically, I think Simmons is more right because she can't really control her powers right now, but they ask a really important question. If Bruce Banner could get rid of his powers, should he be allowed to? Because he does do a lot of good as the Hulk. The problem with that is that none of those characters have read the Illuminati. That's the storyline where Marvel's Illuminati group, Reed Richards, Iron Man, Doctor Strange, all the other Illuminati, including Black Bolt, shoot Hulk into space because he becomes such a problem that they can't deal with. Obviously, they're not going to be shooting Skye into space anytime soon, but I think it's kind of funny. Because yes, Hulk is good, he is an Avenger, but he also causes as much damage as he prevents. So it's kind of a wash. In the comics though, Daisy Johnson, the character that Skye is on the show, she does join the Avengers eventually. Her upgraded gauntlets look pretty cool. It looks like they're full-on gloves. I think Coulson called them gloves. If gaining mutant powers is a metaphor for people becoming sexually active, I mean that's originally what it was in the comics, then think of these gloves as a chastity belt or birth control. I guess if it were a chastity belt, they would completely block her powers. Make as many condom jokes as you want, but basically what she's going to be doing at this cabin is just playing with her powers. I think it's going to take her the rest of the season to figure her powers out until we get to a gloves off kind of moment, metaphorically and literally. She'll take the gloves off and be like crazy powerful, do like something crazy big. It just feels like a really easy spectacle that they could put in the finale. Like it's all about, humor, heart, spectacle, and the spectacle part being the big superpower stuff. On to number 2. 33 and Ward are brainwashing Bakshi. This was so much fun. A nice twist on the Whitehall scenes. What they're probably going to do is try and brainwash him, replant him inside Hydra, and use him to run counter operations against them. Or they could still program him and replant him back inside the US government. If you remember in the mid-season premiere, all the heads of Hydra said that Bakshi was the next best candidate to become a new head of Hydra, to replace Whitehall. So it's possible that that could still happen. And speaking of Whitehall, this is really important because I feel like he is the one common villain amongst all the different groups on the show. Doesn't it just feel like they're laying seeds for him to become the overarching villain for the Inhumans as well as Real Shield, Coulson's Shield, and Agent 33 and Ward, like their little splinter cell? It's like despite all their differences of opinion, everyone agrees Whitehall is awful. So just open up a tab in Chrome for Whitehall Big Bad Return. And finally, my number 1 WTF moment, Coulson and May totally know something is going on with Mac and Hunter. Whenever there's a character on screen lying to Coulson or May, I always get the feeling that they secretly know they're being lied to. It just feels like in the past, in the Avengers movies, as well as in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 1, Coulson always knows when he's being lied to. He might not know exactly what's going on, but he knows when you're not telling the truth. That's just more fuel on the Civil War fire. The real question we need to ask, and actually here's my big question for you guys, you can just answer in the comments. Do you think that, once all the secrets come out about Real Shield, that Coulson's team will reunite by the season finale? The other possibility is that it could split them down the middle, so that during season 3 you have a lot more Shield infighting. They're totally going to do a Captain America Civil War Shield crossover, just like they did in Captain America Winter Soldier, and just like they're going to do in Age of Ultron. They're always going to have minor crossovers between the films and the TV shows. I do think that Real Shield versus Shield will continue to be a thing in season 3. It just feels like it works too well within the context of Captain America Civil War for them to get rid of it right away. In related news, Daredevil is getting ready to premiere on Netflix, so if you guys don't have Netflix, make sure you get it. It's going to be an amazing TV series. I'm not expecting it to cross over with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or the movies a whole lot, maybe in season 2. I think they just want to start it as its own thing first, just to see how it does. And they're also setting up Jessica Jones and all these other Netflix series, so it's largely going to be self-contained to these other shows that are on Netflix. Be sure to subscribe to get all my videos. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing more Daredevil bonus videos as we get closer to that. It's really only a couple of weeks away. It's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure you guys check it out. I know everyone's wondering if I'm going to do like videos for every single episode or if I'm just going to do a couple videos. What I'll probably do is I'll just do like one video for every 2 or 3 episodes and just post one every like 3 or 4 days. There's just like no way I can make like 13 different videos in 2 days. It's also the same weekend that Game of Thrones premieres. Daredevil drops the Friday before Game of Thrones Season 5 Episode 1 airs, so it is going to be such an amazing weekend. I probably won't sleep, but it'll be a lot of fun. While you guys wait for that, you can click here to learn all about the Captain America Civil War directors taking over the Avengers franchise for Joss Whedon. That's going to be really exciting. And you can click here for all my other Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. videos. Thank you so much for watching. Now let's all high five. I'll see you guys again tonight.